Hi, I'm Melissa from the Yarn Barn, and today I've got 4 tips for you for working with 2 shuttles. So whether it's overshot, summer and winter, monk's belt like what I'm doing, or shadow weave, it can be challenging to get a good looking edge when you're using 2 shuttles. So let's look at a couple of tips that will make it easier. Number 1, use a floating selvage. And I'm not going to talk a lot about that. We have an entire video dedicated to that, and we will link it to this one. But using a floating selvage gives a consistent edge for the wefts to turn at, regardless of what's going on with the structure itself. So that floating selvage gives a uniform turning point, and that makes the edges look more uniform and consistent. Number 2 is how you handle the shuttles. Now, there are several options, but the key is to pick one and just do it that way consistently. So what I like to do is, when I pull the shuttle out of the shed, I set it at the fell line. There was a shuttle already there from the last pick, and that moves toward me. So then when I go to do the next pick, then this shuttle goes at the fell line, and the other one comes toward me as I pick it up. And that affects the way the 2 wefts are interlocking at the edge. So you can see here the way the burgundy and the white are interlocking. It's the same every time. So you're getting kind of a white on the underside and burgundy on the top here. And it just looks very consistent here with the teal. You can see that they're wrapping each other the same way. Now, if you weren't paying attention and you would just handle the shuttles in whatever way, sometimes what you're seeing here is all burgundy. You'd see white thrown in, and then there'd be burgundy down below, and it just wouldn't look as uniform. It's still a little bit bulky, and that's going to happen because there you've got 2 wefts plus the floating selvage, but at least it's uniform. Now, the 3rd tip is in answer to the question we often get, which is, I've got 2 shuttles, how do I start? Do I start both on one side, or do I start one on each side? And the answer is basically, it doesn't matter as far as the structure goes. I can't think of an example of when it would actually affect how the structure would look. Whether you started both on one side or one on each side, because they kind of chase each other. And so no matter where you start, there'll be times when both are at one side, both at the other side, or on separate sides. However, weaving in the tails is something that can affect how the overall piece looks. So if you start on 2 separate sides, then you have a tail to weave in on both sides, which is less visible than if you wove 2 tails in, one on top of each other on one side, which can make a little bit of a bulge. And then the last tip is one of memory. So if you're doing overshot, summer and winter, or monk's belt, you'll have a tabby weft and a pattern weft. And the tricky part about the tabby weft is you have to remember to alternate between tabby A and tabby B because you're making plain weave. And it can be challenging in the middle of the weaving when you pick up your shuttle and realize, I don't know whether I'm on tabby A or tabby B. But this will help solve that. If when you put your very first tabby pick in, whether it's plain weave border before you start doing the actual structure, or just when you're diving in with the structure, think of this. If I put the shuttle in on the left, I want to step on the left tabby. If I'm putting the shuttle in on the right, I want to be stepping on the right tabby. So if you set that up the first way, step on the left tabby and throw the shuttle in from the left, in the middle of the weaving, if you pick up your shuttle and think, I don't know which one I'm going to do, well, which side is it on? If it's on the right side, step on right tabby. If it's on the left side, step on left tab. So those are 4 tips. I hope that helps you, because weaving with 2 shuttles can be very challenging, but also very rewarding. So hopefully this will help. Thanks.